In a landlord's market, it's a tough time to be a renter.
I'm looking for a rent house for 3 people. There's my aunt and my sister to live with.
18-year-old Helen Lu is a Year 12 student from Vietnam.
I'm looking for the environment where it's suitable for us to travel around, as well to go to the city and my school and my sister's school.
And this house in Melbourne might just fit the bill.
The highest demand is in the 1 and 2 bedroom apartment or the property under $1,000 per week.
Real estate agent Daniel Carosa says that demand and a lack of available properties to rent has driven prices up.
We have seen month to month the average rent for our properties increase.
And the latest data backs that up. Over the past year, nationally, rents have risen by more than 9% to a median price of $600 a week. The biggest gains were in Perth, Melbourne and Sydney, followed by Adelaide, Brisbane and the regions. Rental growth in the ACT was flat, while prices in Hobart fell.
There's definitely a shortage of affordable homes, so there is a lot of pressure on the lower end of the market.
Property marketplace Domain found rents have reached all-time highs, with houses seeing the steepest quarterly gain in 17 years.
It has been, a fairly lengthy period where we have seen rents continue to rise. Pretty much they've been rising since midway through 2020.
But there is some relief in sight. Experts believe a tipping point will be reached sometime this year thanks to slowing population growth. While that doesn't necessarily mean rents will start to come down, it does mean they're likely to slow down from the rapid rises we've seen over the past few years.
It is still a landlord's market and the vacancy rate is still very tight across the majority of our capital cities. And what that means is it's still likely to place pressure on rents.
In the March quarter, vacancy rates fell across all capital cities except Hobart. The number of properties available to rent is at record lows in Perth, Sydney and Melbourne, making it tougher to find a place to live. Michael Fotheringham from the Australian Housing and Urban Research Institute says the private rental market isn't serving the needs of lower income households.
Our housing systems are in crisis. If you're looking for a rental property at the moment, you're paying an extremely high price for it. The competition is extremely high. There's certainly a group now that know that they're priced out of the market.
When we talk about housing affordability and a housing crisis, we always have to keep in mind that across Australia there's a very different situation happening in each town and city.
Economist Cameron Murray says the rise in rents is on par with rising incomes and inflation.
The reason rents are rising so quickly right now is because they were abnormally low before COVID and during COVID. So if we want to return to a historical norm in the market, we need rents to rise, and they're doing so quite rapidly at the moment.
How have you found it trying to find a place to rent in Melbourne?
It's pretty difficult. We've looked at a lot of places. We put an application in for this one place and then they reduced the price and then rejected our application. We've been looking since like February and we just haven't been able to find something.
A challenge faced by many renters.